A's Extra.
Oh, I'm here with Jayden Melendez. Jayden, you hit your first home run on Cape Cod in game number 1 as Chatham knocked off Orleans. Is that a dream come true right there?
Man, it definitely is. It kind of the preparation all paid out. Kind of went through the struggle at the beginning and, starting to kind of click a little bit on all cylinders and just, grateful that I could help the team win and, that I was a pretty big part of that.
Are there any big differences you've seen in the pitching here on Cape Cod versus what you saw at Pittsburgh this year?
Oh, definitely. I mean, all these guys here can really locate 3 pitches, for the most part pretty well at Pitt. I did face guys like, Rhett Lauder and a lot of guys from Virginia and a lot of top pitching, but, they kind of both do compare to each other to where they can locate those secondary pitches and kind of keep you on your toes, and you got to really be a mature hitter to spit off those, or else you're going to be in a pretty big hole.
When you're facing a guy that tosses everything at you and mixes it up, what's the biggest key for staying on your toes and having the ability to hit all of the pitches?
I think the biggest thing is just to kind of be on time on the fastball. If you're on time with the fastball, you're able to, for the most part, to recognize spin and whether to spin on it or not. And that's something that I've kind of learned, through growth and through struggle. I kind of struggled with that freshman year, and just kind of being on time with that. And even if maybe a breaking pitch is coming, you're able to sit back and drive it and just trust the preparation that you're able to get to that pitch.
You also laid down a sacrifice bunt in game number 1. The game's shortened to 7 innings, so is that why Marty Least went to some of the more small ball there to move runners up?
Yeah, I think so. We're in such a crucial spot to start winning ball games, and I'm definitely down to do whatever it takes to help the team win. And whether it be a bunt, whether it be a home run, it's pretty cool that I was able to do both in one game, and just to keep it going and hopefully win game 2.
You mentioned a big key trying to win game 2 and sweep the doubleheader here. What's the biggest key for keeping that momentum going in game number 2?
I got to give a lot of credit to the pitchers. They've been doing a heck of a job these past few games. I know it's hard, so I think the pitching is, really sets the tone. I think we're having mature at bats, really good at bats. So I think as long as the pitching, keeps staying consistent and kind of leads us through it, I think the hitters are going to feed off that energy and just, continue to put together good at bats, put together runs, and just work behind them.
You were back there catching both Gabe Davis, the starter, and the reliever, Xander Sechrist. Break down what you saw from both of the pitchers in Game 1 from Chatham.
Man, I think that Gabe did a really good job of mixing his pitches. He had a feel for all 3 pitches. At the beginning, we tried throwing the changeup, and, he didn't have a feel for it yet. But I think once we got to inning 3 and 4, he was able to get the feel for it, as well as the slider with Xander. He always does a really good job of mixing pitches. So I was able to throw a lot of double-up curveballs. I think I even tried to do a four changeups in a row. So kind of mixing pitches with guys like that, their colleges do a really good job of preparing them for that. So they've been doing a good job of that all in all.
How big of an adjustment has it been for you working with all new pitchers and trying to call your own games back there?
I would say it's a big adjustment, but I think all these pitchers do a really good job. They're in such a great league that, they're prepared for this. And when it comes to calling the game, I did have some struggles a little bit, but I feel like I'm really able to control that, and I got a lot of credit. I kind of grew around the game, grew around my brother, my dad, so I'm kind of able to adjust quickly to that stuff.
45 minutes in between games. What's the routine, the ritual for you guys to get ready?
So right now we're going to take a little bit of time off of our feet. My parents just got in town, so I definitely got to say hi to them. But yeah, just kind of relax a little bit and then get the mind right for game 2.
All right, your parents get here and you hit your first Cape Cod home run. Jayden, congratulations. Best of luck in game 2.
Thank you very much.
We'll send it back to Joe to finish up the highlights from game number 1 of the doubleheader here at Orleans.